My name is Tuula Fai, and I work as a journalist and a craniosacral therapist. Craniosacral therapy, what type of therapy is it? Well, it's a full body technique, a gentle hands-on way of feeling into a person's central nervous system, brain and spinal cord, and seeing if anything's getting in the way of it operating at 100% efficiency and health. I began my career actually as a marketing executive with IBM and some other big technology companies. And people tend to ask me, well, so I have a business degree and a political science degree. How could you have ended up, in my journalism profession, I cover the faith beat or the spiritual beat or whatever you'd want to call it. So people think it sounds very different for me to be a therapist working on people's bodies and psyches and then interviewing, kind of spiritual leaders around the world on how they're promoting peace. And I view those two careers as being so similar. My view of marketing, what I was doing at IBM, is it's really about giving and receiving love. Marketing is about sharing ideas that I feel would be helpful, ideas, products, and services that I feel would be helpful to people, and sort of negotiating a fair price on that, and then supporting them in how they would use it to better serve their companies, customers, and even in the case of the U.S., since we have a capital system, stockholders. So for me, and then it's also a lot about systems. Technology was a lot about computer systems and software systems, hardware, software. And that's a lot like the human body. The human body is a bunch of very interesting, intricate systems. So I feel like I made almost a lateral move. Like I moved over from one way of giving and receiving love and working with systems to another way of giving and receiving love and working with systems. So it may not be the most controversial or interesting answer, but for me it feels pretty similar. The only angst I had in my move is that people, when I tell them I had this kind of a luxurious career as a executive with IBM, they're shocked that I would have ever left that to do what I do now, because it's obviously not as lucrative, or it's not as lucrative. It's not as lucrative, or it doesn't have as big a title.